students, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today we shall read the poem Keeping Quiet. This poem is composed by Pablo Neruda. Then first of all, we will know about the poet. Ricardo Eliezer Neftali Reyes Basalto, better known by his pen name and later legal name Pablo Neruda. He was a Chilean poet, diplomat and politician who won Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. He was born on 12 July 1904. He died on 23 September 1973. Now we will know about the poem. As the name of the poem is Keeping Quiet, it is composed by Pablo Neruda. Here he discusses the need of maintaining peace and silence. The poet stresses upon bring quiet and harmless to the human beings, animals and environment. He suggests that in order to maintain peace and harmony, it is required to stop and introspect ourselves. Now I shall do explanation of the poem. I am going to read the stanza first. Stanza first. What is the stanza first? Let's know. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Here in this poem, poet asks humanity to count 12 numbers from 1 to 12. Why poet is saying so? To count 12 numbers. Why he has not taken other numbers as 14, 15? Actually, 12 being the numbers of hours shown in a clock or the numbers of zodiac sign. All our calculations depends on 12 number. So, poet urges each one of us to count up to 12 and then be quiet. He wants a moment of silence on the earth. When no language is spoken in this way, there will be no language. When we will no use any type of language, barriers among people, no harsh word will be spoken in this moment of silence. The poet does not want anyone to move their arms. He wants us to remain motionless. The moment when everybody stops moving, their body will be very special and different, as we have never experienced such moment before. Now we will do stanza second. What is stanza second? I am going to read. It would be an exotic moment. Without rust, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. What poet wants to say in this stanza? Actually, poet feels that such a moment of silence would be exciting and different. There will be no sound, there will be no hurry, there will be no sound of machines to pollute the environment. It will be strange and unfamiliar moment for us. In this unusual period, the bonds of humanity will get strong. Now we will do stanza third. What is stanza third? I am going to read. Fisherman in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Here in these lines, poet wants to say, In this moment of inactivity, the fisherman would not be catching fish. The whales in the sea would be safe, and the man who gathers salt will be able to tend his wounded hands, for which he had no time earlier. Human beings will not destroy nature, and both nature and human would be able to recover from their wounds. Now we will do stanza 4. I am going to read this. Those who prepare green wars, war with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. Here in this stanza, poet wants to say, and he speaks of those wages war against humanity or environment. They create war of all kinds. He says that such men should keep their activities. Such men should stop their activities. They would clean their clothes from stain with the blood of humanity, and they would put on new clothes. They would walk with their brothers, thus they would build brotherhood. Here poet wants to say the world war should be replaced with an atmosphere of peace, brotherhood and harmony. Now we will do stanza 5th. What is stanza 5th? I am going to read this. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what is about. I want no truck with death. Here in these lines, poet makes a clarification that though he is advocating the need of silence, but people should not be confused with total inactivity. He means humans should not be inactive. Total inactivity means death, and he doesn't want any association with death. Life would be going on as it is going. He says that life is meant to be alive with nature. Now we will do stanza 6. I am going to read this. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Here in these lines, poet wants to say, and he advises that people should stop being self-centered and selfish. He says that this huge silence which will arise from such a movement will only serve to help the people. It will help them to introspect themselves, and it will overcome their sadness of failing to understand themselves. This moment of silence will give them time to understand themselves in better way. Now we will do stanza 7. What is stanza 7? I am going to read this, and this is the last stanza of the poem. This is very meaningful. Perhaps the earth can teach us when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. These are the concluding lines of the poem. Poet feels in these lines that earth can enlighten us and guide us in the proper way. For the process of keeping quiet, he wants us to observe that there is some activity under apparent stillness. To check that stillness, under apparent. For example, the fruit bearing trees are born from such seeds which appears lying dead here and there. At the end, he wants us to keep quiet while he is counting up to 12. And after that, he will leave. Dear students, thanks a lot for watching my video. And I hope you would understand this poem very well. See you in the next video. Okay.